Is the mini truck a good replacement for the Toyota Tacoma? It depends. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Before we get started, if you haven't before, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So the big question, is the mini truck really a good replacement for the Toyota Tacoma? You know, I've been looking at the mini trucks myself because I find them kind of interesting. And to be honest, I like them. Now, there's really two players out there right now, but you know there's more coming because of the popularity of the Ford Maverick. And those two players are the Ford Maverick and the Santa Cruz, made by Hyundai. Now, I've got 7 things I kind of wanted to look at, so let's run through them. Number 1 is pricing. Now, it's not hugely different, and it depends on what you go for. Different trim levels, options, all that kind of stuff. But starting out, you're a couple of grand or so less on the mini trucks, particularly on the Ford Maverick, than you are on the Toyota Tacoma. So you can save a little bit of money and still have the functionality of a bed, albeit a smaller bed. I checked out the bed size real quick on the Tacoma. It's 5 foot deep or long rather, and about 4 foot 5 inches wide. The mini trucks, the Santa Cruz for example, is a 4 foot bed. So you're gonna be able to fit just a little bit less in that truck. Number 2 is the bed size. You know, how much are you really gonna be hauling around? If you're buying a mid-size or small truck, you're probably not hauling tons of stuff anyway. If you were, you'd be going for the full-size truck, or even an 8 foot long or 6 foot long bed to be able to put as much as you can back in there. For work purposes, I would certainly think at least a Tacoma or a full-size truck would be better. Number 3, off-road capability. Well, I think this is hands down the Toyota Tacoma. You know, the Toyota Tacoma, in my opinion, is probably the second best off-road option, the first being the Jeep Wrangler. The Jeep is king of off-road, but the Tacoma is right behind it. Now, the mini truck, they're not really designed as much for off-roading, particularly if you're camping or anything. I mean, can you really throw a decent sized tent or camper, or, you know, one of those pop-up deals on the back of a mini truck? I'm sure they're going to be available, but how much room and how much hauling capacity are you going to have on the truck to be able to move that thing around? You want a little space in those when you open them up, right? I can say the Santa Cruz, although it's all-wheel drive, it's not really designed for any kind of heavier duty off-roading. It'll get you where you need to go, but so will a 2-wheel drive Toyota Tacoma. Number 4, power. Now, this is interesting to me. We've got the V6 naturally aspirated engine in the Toyota Tacoma, but we have the 4-cylinder turbos in the mini trucks. Now, turbos have an advantage, at least off the line. They're quicker. They feel more powerful. Now, that's not looking at horsepower numbers and all that stuff. They just feel better. And in the end, what's more important? Some numbers written on a piece of paper or how the truck feels to you? When it comes to power, I would have to give it to the mini truck. They're just quicker and honestly, a little bit more fun as far as the driving experience solely goes, in my opinion. Number 5 is appearance. Now, this is all personal preference. You know, there are people out there, like my sister, who buys the Volkswagen Beetle. I would never buy a Volkswagen Beetle. It's not my thing. You know, I don't really dig that. The Honda Element, one of the ugliest vehicles I think that's ever been produced. But people buy them, and they buy them for a reason, because they like them. As far as I'm concerned, it kind of depends on what you do with each truck. The best looking mid-size truck on the road is the Toyota Tacoma, I think. But the minis, they're not too bad. They kind of have their own little genre, if you will. But still, not quite as good looking as the Toyota Tacoma. Number 6, mods. Personalization. What can you do with the mini truck? Well, right now, not a lot, because there aren't tons of mods out there for them. There are things you can do, but there aren't tons of things. The Toyota Tacoma, on the other hand, has a myriad of options. And that's because they've been around for 482 years. So the aftermarketers have all kinds of options out there that you can dump some cash on. You can make this truck pretty much anything that you want, unique to everybody else. With the mini truck, at least in the short term, there's not going to be tons of things that you can do to it. You can change the wheels, you can tint it, you can put some appearance mods and things on it, but that's really about it at the moment. So the Toyota Tacoma, that wins hands down, I think. And number 7, fuel economy. Now, this is something that nobody ever wants to talk about because it is a truck. It should get really crappy fuel economy. But people still bring it up all the time, so we're going to bring it up here. The mini trucks do get better fuel economy. Now, is it something that's mind-blowing? Toyota? No, not really. It's a few miles per gallon more. In the long run, you're going to save a few bucks on gas if you buy the mini truck. But you have to consider what you're going to lose in functionality if you do that, depending on your lifestyle and what you're doing with the truck. I do think the mini trucks have a niche. They're kind of a suburban truck, if you will. They're capable of hauling the dirty bits and stuff in the back. They have decent towing and hauling capability, but they're not as functional, not quite, as the Toyota Tacoma or the mid-size truck. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, kind of take a look at the two, just for comparison's sake. I am interested in the mini trucks myself. I think it's a neat little niche market, as I mentioned. I do think they have their purpose. You know, if you don't really need a truck, then I think the mini truck is the way to go. It will still give you the ability to haul stuff around. They have decent ride quality, and they're still, even though some people will argue, a truck. For instance, the Santa Cruz, they don't, being Hyundai, call it a truck. They call it an SAV, Sport Activity Vehicle. Either way, for me, if it has a bed on the back, it's a truck. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Is the mini truck a valid replacement for the Toyota Tacoma? Does Toyota have anything to worry about? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you haven't before, if you did in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels, RobMotive JT, all about Jeep Gladiators, and RobMotive FST, all about full-size trucks, for now. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.